Welcome back to another pristine production, guys. I want to shout out to all the fans, all the supporters. Remember to hit me up on my YouTube page. All my new videos on mixing videos. I have stuff on soca with using pristine loops. Be sure to check out my website. Link is in the description. Just click shop now. Get the latest rhythm and sample packs with MIDI files included. Today, we're going to be talking about scoring with suspense. Getting that cinematic, dramatic feeling in film composing. So let me get right down into it there, and I'm going to show you how we can do certain tricks to get certain sounds in. So I'm gonna get right into the session here. Here's my session here. I'm gonna bring up the video here, and I'm gonna play a little bit of the track and listen to the cinematic music. Here we go. Here's the title of the short film. Notice the change in expression in the actor's face. Want to make note of that. And there the music changes the mood. The mood is suddenly changed from nice and sweet to a little bit dark and upsetting. Now, at this point, we don't know what the hell is going to happen next, and that's the joy of scoring for film scenes. Obviously, there's something not too normal about this couple. There, she's nervously cutting the cake, and he's getting angry right there, and the music is growing as well. The music is kind of shifting attitude. So we're gonna stop there and talk about how did we come up with certain stuff. Obviously, here's the video without the music. I'm just play it there. He's just walking. There's nothing happening there. So music plays a major role. Cinematic scoring plays a major role into bringing the story together, giving you that emotion and vibe and feeling. So the first thing I did when a client send you a clip or a short trailer, you gotta go through it, analyze what kind of scene it's gonna be. Obviously, there's a shot of this guy coming into the apartment here, and we have the title, and I had some dark piano right around there, and you need to take note of what kind of scene it is. What's happening, tension. Is it a sad scene? Is it a happy scene? Is the whole theme of the movie something happy or mysterious? Here we have a combination of kind of dark and unbalanced here. 1 minute things are good, and the other minute things are not too good. So we need to take note of what's happening there when people send you the clips to score, or how we're gonna do it. Then you can keep. And it's very key that you don't have to be a professional musician, but good chords. You can play it professionally. Standardly, I can say you don't have to know a whole lot of chords. Just simple. This entire arrangement here that I did using 30 tracks was used to just about a couple minor chords, and that's about it. You know, the entire movie or the trailer here, the scene is pretty dramatic and dark. So I'm gonna play. I'm gonna skip and jump to some of the parts. You can check it out. And then we're gonna break down the sounds. So here we go here with the scene here. You never know what's going to happen next. That's the thing about these kind of themes here. And the music is working beautifully. It has some crazy sound effects, some sneaky kind of transition noise. Kind of makes you wonder if she's gonna get a knife or something, or gonna knife this guy. There we have the guitar panning left and right through the speakers. She's smiling, you know, kind of weirdly, and I would think that is poison in this thing. Right down to that scene right there where she opens up the door. So let me go into it. So here I'm gonna go back to scene 1 here. I'm gonna shrink this video window a little bit there. So let's go to the compositing scene. I'm gonna mute the audio from the video itself and just the composite. So I started out with the what you call transition track here. I'm gonna play this part here solo. So that kind of introduced the beginning. Let me go ahead and just make a quick adjustment here because I don't want no automatic saving here. Just want to make sure. Okay, good. So I'm introducing the wide shot there where she's just sitting in the house there. So I went ahead and added that transition, a kind of dark pad in a minor key. Then I brought these sounds in. Which is pretty atmospheric. There's a guy, you know, getting out of the car. That's how I opened up the scene. And I'm going to bring in some of the pulse sound there. I'm going to bring that in. While I'm keeping that dark pad. If I just took out the pad, you know, it would still sound great, but you want to keep that atmospheric, you know, a mystery kind of opening. So that's basically what I have there. Just a looping kick. Now the second layer on top of that added a little bit more opening vibe as he moved from the car closer to the door of the building. Let me bring in the audio from the video itself, so you know, so we can get. Gets out of the car. And he's walking towards. And then I'm gonna bring in a piano here. Let me solo that. I'm gonna play the piano just by itself. So we have that dark kind of weird sound, including the pulse sounds here. And just when they hit the title, we hear that piano go pling, you know, like a CSI kind of thing. Of course, followed by a transition here. Let me go to that transition. That's it right there. Just one transition hit. Let's play that again. So that entire scene right there, from the car to opening up the door, I already used about 6 elements. So this is what I introduced in the beginning. Now the tempo for the scoring is at 85. Most of them are at 80 for some reason when I checked it out. And so we're establishing that introduction to the scene, you know, creating that a vibe of opening up of a sound and cinematic here. So let's transition on here. Notice I don't have anything at the bottom here, so just those elements is bringing in that tone. So automatically now I switched from 2 pianos here. Here I have one that says romantic piano here, where I actually played something, you know, nice and kind of jazzy. I'm playing it by itself. You know, she's in her, you know, happy face, you know, and you know, the mood is good for right now. So I'm giving that a little bit of greetings kind of piano. And he's offering her the flowers. There, his face is changing right there. You want to take note of that. You already know something's not going to be too sweet about this down the road. She's looking at the card and trying to pretend that she's okay with it, but she's not really. And this is when the mood change right here. So we get off that sweet spot. And this part here, which I call the pulse creep, I brought in some electric guitars there. And I'm using some of the library from Audio Imperial. You might want to look into orchestral tools. You might want to look into some of the other heavy hitters, Berlin, cinematic sound effects, and that whole stuff. There's where the attitude changes. And he's kind of getting a little angry there. So this block right here is covering that. I'm gonna solo that part. And there I switch to a percussive kind of sound there. Just to kind of have you wondering what's gonna happen next. She's kind of getting scared and pretending to be fine, and he's kind of smiling now. It's like both of them are you know, bipolar or something, you know. As actors, they're playing that scene. But although things are appearing to be a little bit sweet now, I still keep the music in that dark mood, because it wouldn't really make sense or feel right to go back to a sweet piano thing, you know, which can work, but we want to make sure the music is going and telling the story with the shots and the film. So there she's offering the cake. She's lighting up the candle there. He's looking at it. Seemed like he's okay. Right there when she coughs and the smoke is coming out, I have another sound right here. You know, so once I play that, listen to the transition. Yeah, you hear that dark sound. Sometimes you can experiment to see if it's gonna work if you continue to let the previous pattern to roll. But it's not gonna really give that emotion there when her face changed. But when I brought in that little dark transition there, you hear that dong. That's where you know something is brewing here. Something is not too right. There his face is changing. And then I brought in that creepy sound. Like things is getting worse. This is a sound right here. Let me bring it back here. Play it. Which is going in combination with both the patterns and that guitar sounds to kind of intensify something dark is about to happen here, or something suspense. As she cuts that cake. And this part here took a little while. It took me about 3 or 4 hours, about 3 hours and a half, you know, to compose this scene. Now this is the second segment of the scene here. We're getting to that where that anger and rage is going. So when I brought in these guitars here, that's where you know things is getting intensified, or somebody's gonna rob a bank, or somebody's gonna pull a gun. So while all that is happening there, if I can mute the sound effects from the video, I'm adding a couple other things here. I have what you call a riser right here. That's when he went, you know, AWOL there. You know, he went crazy. So while all this suspense scene is happening there, he's getting physical with her. He's not too pleased at how she cut the cake. Look like he's a sick perfectionist. And then she's left there in that scene of woe and sadness, which leads me to the other sound that I'm introducing here, which kind of sounds distorted and disoriented. You know, this is the vibe we want to create around her. This sound right here. So there she is, sobbing, while the guitar is still playing. And it's very important, guys, to make sure that you have your faders at the right spot. You don't want certain things to be too loud, because sometimes, most of the time, you got to automate as well. So to get the sound, you know, let's say if you were going quiet, maybe it was a scene that, you know, things kind of ease down, the scene's getting literally a little more quiet, there's not a lot of activity happening, then maybe you can use some softer music, you know. But I'll say this is beginning to turn into that thriller now. She has stuff all over her face, you know, so we're keeping the pulse going here. With this one bar here, I'm doing that, some guitar loops here. And here is another transition when she's revealing that cut, showing that she was previously abused a number of times. So I bring in that transition riser, kind of like a Friday the 13th thing, like, you know, so to intensify the misery and what she's going through, while keeping that pulse going. Now right here, I'm bringing in some strings now. I'm getting a little bit more cinematic here. Bringing in just those minor key strings there. Even if I didn't have the loops and just the string, it would still have worked. So we want to make sure we build on top of it and we don't have too much thing going around, you know, because we want to fit the music with the scene. So now she's going to, you know, that resolution that, you know, I got to do something about this guy before he kills me. And you may hear these kind of sound in a lot of epic films, you know. Yeah, I'm panning the guitars to the left and the right. I have what you call here is the wail sounds, just like a weird sound here. You know, really creating something dark, like a graveyard scene, along with the strings. You know, so as we continue the scene here, you know, obviously, you know, she's gonna take revenge. So there she goes now to the scene where she's gonna open up the door. And so this brings me to another cue point here. Right there, you know, as she's about to open the door, we don't know what's going to happen next, because this guy's behind the door. We don't know if he's ready to attack her or something, so it's kind of a mystery. So I brought in that riser there. And as soon as the door opened, I brought in that dark sound. Let me see if I can find. Oh, there it is. The transition song right here. I'm gonna play it again. It's like a boom hit. You know, like the door is gonna reveal something now. So we done. You know, we've seen what has been done, and now this is the scene where I guess he's trying to make up and that whole thing. So we got to keep. Remember, we don't want to go back to that sweet part. We already passed that part. Now we're going darker and darker as tension rise here. Now check this out. Now this is where it's very important that we use what is called a white noise. If I can bring up my contact here, I'm using a mixed orchestra effects from Symphobia from Project Sam, just to give you that white noise. It's just like a dead noise, no strings, just a sound here. And you can use this sound to, you know, fit scenes like these. If somebody's sitting somewhere by themselves, you know, you can use this to your advantage. So let's play that white noise, and we're gonna bring in the strings again. So he's there eating this poisoned pie. There you can hear. There is where I'm bringing back in the loops. But check this out. I'm fading. Rather than just going straight into the guitar's loops here, I'm fading the sound in to introduce what is brewing in this scene right here. So check it out. It's coming to life, You know, he starts to cough. And then we're going to get aggressive again. And here's the second attack that he does. And right there, he falls to his death. And here's what I call the dead sound, which is a real murder kind of transition scene, you know. And of course, I have what you call the dark synth working along with that. You know, when you hear those kind of sounds, obviously somebody got shot or something terrible is happening. So we bring in that riser again, you know, kind of heighten up the scene there. I'm going to bring that back, because we don't know what's going to happen next. And then I introduce a guitar kind of push back in the reverb on the back wall there, to introduce that kind of, you know, somebody's been killed and it's an awful kind of experience while she's sobbing there. And then right there, when the scene switches to the camera, to her surprise, she didn't know that there's a camera in there. So that's why I brought in that sound. Where did it go? I think it's right here. Another string bite there. You may hear that a lot in, like, maybe The Ring or, you know, different horror films there. And then I'm bringing in now that end credit kind of sound, that pattern, that mobile sound that you heard at the beginning, similar when the film was starting. As the scene zooms into her. And there you have the ghost piano comes in. And we have the credits rolling. While I'm also bringing that strings, I'm having these strings rising here. So I'm gonna stop there, guys. You know, it's been fun. And remember to hit me up on my website if you want me to mix and master for you, or if you're a film composer, you know, and you want some trailer scored for. I'm also a professional certified music score for video games and films. So wanted to share this with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. How you get that scoring with that suspense. So there are key things you got to keep in mind. Like I said, analyze the clips, know what the theme of the song, the theme of the video is, introducing, what is happy, sad places, and pay very close attention to the characters and their behavior, and pay close attention to what's happening in the scene. If they're feeling lonely and that whole thing, that will give you ideas where more or less where to go. With sound effects and transition, a little bit of reverb and that whole stuff. So I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Be sure to hit me up, and I'll see you guys.